in a 6 seed.
And this is where the Draymond conundrum comes up, because you could make the case that, all right, say, and Klay's in Dallas. But say if you brought Klay back, I think it would be easier from a roster building standpoint to build around offensive firepower with Steph and Klay.
Yes.
But now you have Draymond Green. And what complicates Gary Payton II is when you play Draymond Green and Gary Payton II, your spacing offensively is just gone. And then all of a sudden you're playing Kuminga or Wiggins alongside GP2 and Draymond. And then where's your offense going to come from? Where's the spacing going to come from? You got too many specialists here. So that's that wrinkle with the Golden State Warriors. Can they have enough firepower with each combination of offense? Because there's a lot of times, you can go 9 deep and you're rotating all these guys, but you may only have 2 scorers on the floor and 3 defenders. That in today's NBA, we're seeing it now with these teams. Whether it's Minnesota, Dallas, Denver, they've got firepower everywhere.
Spacing. But I think when I look at like down at the bench and you're a coach, you tend to go to people that you trust.
Yep.
And I get that. I'm not knocking. I get it. Well, I think that when we're talking about philosophical changes and stuff, part of forcing yourself into philosophical changes is having big personnel shifts. Mm-hmm. And I think that changing the personnel on the bench forces you out of your comfort zone. And I would like to see them do that.
Yeah, this is why I didn't love the GP2 deal for Wiseman a couple years ago. Not that Wiseman needed to stay or anything, but when you brought GP2 in, it basically ended Dante DiVincenzo's time at Golden State.
And it stymied Kuminga's opportunities.
Exactly.
And it stymied Moody's opportunities.
You're thinking to yourself offensively, even when you do play GP2, you're like, we could just play him in a dunker spot. I always love Kuminga in a dunker spot. You imagine having Kuminga in a dunker spot? He's actually going to get up a dunk. Now, GP2 could dunk on your head, too. I'm not going to say that. But Kuminga's just bull in there. He finishes at the rim relentlessly. So you need some more size on this roster. There's no doubt. You need a little more size, especially in the backcourt.
Size matters.
In the backcourt, man. It does, Fitz. He's not lying. GP2, Pods, Curry, and D'Anthony Melton. As much as I love D'Anthony Melton, those are 4 guys, 6'3" and under. 6'3" and under.
Well, and that's why I know people are laughing. I use that as a person who's making comparable money who could be on the way out. I don't know. I heard that Trey Lyles was up in the air in terms of his roster spot. He's this shooting big who can get a little nasty.
Would Sacramento trade him?
No, but
they're going to need some nasty on that roster.
I'm just saying hypothetically, switching one of my wings out for a stretch shooting big it's not going to win headlines. And everyone's going, oh my God, are you kidding me? No, I'm just saying if I'm looking for small philosophical shifts on my bench, those are the kinds of players I'm targeting.
Well, that's why I wouldn't panic if I was a Warrior fan. Not now. Because those moves you're talking about, P.J. Washington and Daniel Gafford, did they steal headlines at the deadline for the Dallas Mavericks?
No. I bet if I had polled the majority of Warrior fans, they wouldn't really have been able to point those guys out.
Those moves, those subtle changes, little moves like that, help them get to the NBA Finals. That's why I think it's too early to panic if the Warriors can't get the marketing deal done, because I do think, now, August 6th is a big day for Utah and Lowry marketing. It's Lowry, 510. Sarah Todd told us it's Lowry, not Lori. We were saying Lori the whole time. She said it's Lowry, so we're going to call him Lowry marketing.
Mike Lowry.
Yeah, Lowry. There you go. Lowry marketing. They have to give him a 4-year extension by August 6th. If they don't give it to him, then that means he will become a free agent at the end of the season. Now, if they give him the extension by August 6th, that means he can't be traded for 6 months, which means that he can't be traded at the trade deadline, which means that everybody's going to be out on the market in sweepstakes this season. So the time to deal him may be now, and maybe Danny Ainge gets desperate. Maybe for the first time in his life as a GM or executive, whatever the hell he is in Utah, he will get desperate, and maybe he doesn't take the deal that the Knicks ended up giving Brooklyn for Mikal Bridges. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that happens in a great world. Because if he signs that extension by August 6th, then we're all out of luck. We're all out of the market in sweepstakes.
Can I just ask a question about the Danny Ainge mystique? Just being serious here. If I were to rattle off the best GMs in the last 25 years in the NBA, I don't think I'm getting to Danny Ainge till a little lower in the list. We talk about him like he's the great, and I'm not saying it's just you.
No. We're not talking about him as he's great. We're talking about him because we know he hoards picks and tries to strong-arm teams.
No
and he
doubt.
doesn't get deals done.
Well, that's where I'm going.
He doesn't get deals done. He's a GM that, he's in the sweepstakes. Like, how many times do we hear about Boston
and Kawhi
being in on everything, and yet he's unwilling to go to final? He doesn't pay to play. It costs him being a boss, and he doesn't want to be a boss.
I'm not saying you. I just feel like everyone overrates him as a GM. I think he's fine. But
it's not great.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's the reputation about him.
That's true.
I think it's the reputation of
it almost has a Scott Boras feel to it, doesn't it?
And this is something where marketing first came up a few weeks ago. It's just like, we know who we're dealing with, right? Like, let's not get on Doug Levy and Laker for not making a deal with Utah. We're dealing with Danny Ainge here. We're dealing with Danny Ainge.
What I saw somewhere that Lowry marketing was going to accept slightly less with the Golden State Warriors. Was there any validity to that report?
I have no idea. It didn't come from him.
Okay.
So I take it at face value. But if you're going to make a move, it has to be before August 6th. And if you don't make a move, let's see if he signs the extension. Because if he doesn't sign the extension, then there's still an avenue to maybe trade for him at the deadline. But at least the Warriors financially put themselves in a position with this roster. If they are scuffling a little bit, they will be in a position to make some moves because they have a lot of tradable contracts and a lot of cheap contracts where a lot of teams will see Buddy Hield only making $8 to $9 million a year, Kyle Anderson only making $8 to $9 million a year, or whoever it may be on the block. I have no idea who the Warriors are willing to part with or who they're willing to keep. But it is important to know that GP2 and Looney are essentially one-year deals this season for $8 and $9 million. So are those guys on the way out? Because obviously you had to bench Looney to play TJD. That was a spark plug for the Golden State Warriors. GP2 got hurt, which gave Kuminga a lot more playing time. That was important for the Warriors and for the fan base to see what's up with Kuminga, to see if he's a player or not. But where's he slot in now? You're still small in that backcourt, so I think there needs to be more moves here for the Golden State Warriors if they want to be at least as good as last season. 46 wins is a lot. 46 wins in 10th place in the Western Conference. Are they better than that? Are they better than the 10th place team? Like this roster right now, when we look at the landscape of the West, are they seriously better than they were a season ago? That might not mean much in the Western Conference.
I'm optimistic, Bonta.
What was their big issue last year? Like, you can rank them. That's fine.
Yeah, there's a plethora of issues. Point of attack defense, inconsistent rotations, injuries, how many different starting lineups,
closing games. Games.
How many games did they blow? Double-digit leads did they blow? They were second in the league to the San Antonio Spurs.
Well, they've gotten somewhat younger. I feel like they've gotten a little better defensively.
You got younger just by letting Klay Thompson and Chris Paul walk.
Well,
there you go.
Sometimes it's addition by subtraction, but not always. But like, I don't think you have collected the shooting nor the fear of shooting.
Yep.
You're hoping that the aggregate can kind of offset that. I do believe your second unit has gotten a very versatile 3-4-5 in Kyle Anderson who can play alongside a variety of lineups. To me, that he's a very different player, but he's got an Otto Porter feel to it where it's like this could be the right spot for the right guy at the right time in his career. And I think his game translates to a lot of different lineups that the Warriors want to play. I do wonder about Pods' role. Can he do similar things that Chris Paul did with that second unit in stabilizing games? See, I think we're overrating how much the Warriors love him in the two-guard role, and I think we're underrating him as the quote-unquote backup point guard setting up the second team for offense. I think that's a better role for him. I think that's going to be the one that we're going to talk more about as opposed to he's the starting two-guard.
And when you have Draymond Green in that starting lineup, he's going to handle the ball on the half court. Where does that leave Pods as an off-the-ball offensive player? I don't know where he's at with that aspect of his game. I know he's working on that.
Better.
I think he could shoot better. I think he's going to have to shoot better.
Well, he was a better shooter at Santa Clara than what we saw in Summer League and at times last year.
So, but you get my point here with Draymond Green in the half court.
Of course.
He's going to handle the ball. So, is it better to have Pods start with that lineup or come off? And again, starting and finish, it's all about, as we learned last season, it's about finishing these games. The starting, whoever starts, it's kind of a deal, but finishing is a bigger deal. So, I don't know if that's the best combination with Pods and Draymond in that starting line. We'll see. But Pods did shoot 38.5% from three. He attempted 3 threes last year game. He made one. 9 points, 6 rebounds, but it's more than a box score when it comes to Podziemski. He played 26.5 minutes a game. Where's he at? Where is he at? Can he elevate that three-point shot? Even if he shoots 38.5%. But if he's making 3 out of 7, if he's making 3 a game as opposed to 1 a game, I think that's a big boost for this offense, Shasky.
Absolutely.
I really do.
Absolutely. I don't know. Like, is this the team they're going to roll? And then, like, we talked chemistry, and we talked about all of the positivity, and everybody's kumbaya. Where the hell is Wiggins' head at?
It's the $1 million question.
After this offseason where he's been dangled all over the place.
And Kuminga, for that matter.
Well,
I think we're underrated move with Kuminga because Kuminga.
These guys are human.
Look, I know Pods has been working at the facility. TJD's been at the facility. Okay. Draymond Green and Moody have been at the facility.
Okay.
Where's Kuminga been at?
So Dre's been working this offseason.
Oh, yeah, he's been at the facility.
That's good
Where's
to hear.
Kuminga been at? Kuminga, every workout video I see, I don't see the Warriors practice court. Well, so I don't know where his head is at right now. Because what is he thinking? When he reads,
he's thinking my direct deposit at some point.
That's going to hit at some point, no doubt. He's got the money's there. He's laughing to the bank right now. He's like, oh, I know I got $200 million coming. Whether it's this year, next season, it's coming.
For a guy that we don't even know how good he can be, $200 million.
But
God, the money is sports, man.
But where's his head at? Because he sees reports that he was in on the Paul George deal. He was going to get traded. Then he sees a report that he wasn't in on the Paul George deal. Somebody's lying. It's lying season. Somebody's not telling the truth out there. Somebody's getting duped, whether it's Shellboard or TK. Somebody's out there getting duped. Kuminga's thinking, damn, where do I slot with this team? So now your 2 best point of attack defenders in Jonathan Kuminga and Andrew Wiggins, we don't know where their mentals are at when it comes to this roster. We don't. That's $1 million question. It's $1 million question. But let's get to AD in New York. He wants to talk about the Dubs rotations. What up, AD?
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, love your show.
Thank you.
Listen from New York. You guys are some of the best.
Thank you.
So as far as Wiggins goes, I think him and Kuminga can make a good combo, actually, defensively. You need wings with Dre. So I think the main thing is you have to complement them with a stretch 5. I think Laurie's okay, but he plays no defense. He's a great shooter.